Hey guys, Sam here. Period 6, AP Computer Science. And today I'm going to be showing you guys um, inheritance and override. So this was kind of a tricky concept to understand. Basically, alright, so I'll just kind of briefly describe the old homework. It was basically we had matrices and character messages. So it would spell out letter by letter with the. It was characters basically. Know that it was a double character, and you'd make objects and print out the lines. So say I run this really fast, it would print out I make good vid because that's my message one, and it would come out like a little sloppy and just a little confusing. So let's see what we have for homework 2. Or let's pick out the differences. Sorry. The first thing I notice is that it's no long. I don't see any. I see one matrix and I see strings rather than characters. So a string is different than a character because it's not put into a matrix. It's just a line of characters. And the tricky thing that we're gonna have to do is, so you can see how I slashed this out, and when we had a character, we had to like match it up to where it fit inside the matrix. When we're trying to sell our code, and the user isn't gonna want to have to print out a code and have to like specifically make it a certain amount of letters so that it'll run correctly, because if like there come like space values and stuff come into play. So we're given a string. How are we gonna make? Is our user just gonna put in his code and have it just run on like the first run, like so we don't have to manipulate it? So how do we do that? We're gonna override our message to mat function, which is, so this is the parent function right here, and we have our message to mat function right. Where is it? Oh, I just saw it. Right here. So this is our old message to mat. It takes characters. We're not going to even touch this parent class. The only thing we changed was we changed the privates to protected, which basically just adds a little bit more protection to our variables. But as you notice, the message to mat, the input is a character value. I made a multiply extended class where I extend from the multiply class, which is my multiply private class, and from here I'm extending to the mat class, which has all these different methods. Basically, the extends just means all these methods are included into this one, and all these methods are included into this one, and then oh wait, no, we don't extend here. But basically, it's just saying like we could use message to mat here. We could use our getters. We use setters. Basically, just it basically means that this is just an extension to the multiply private class or multiply class. And we set our variables again right here. We're changing this to string. In homework 21, it was a character, so we change it to string because we're dealing with strings now rather than characters. We change it to string, and we come down here and make our message to mat class. So basically, this looks really confusing, but what it's doing is it's taking the message length and then dividing it by 3. If it comes out with a remainder of 0, the code is fine. It's basically untouched. Nothing needs to happen to it. If it comes out with a remainder of 1, that means 2 spaces are left empty. So we need to add a space into those places so it'll print out the message correctly, and there will be no error. If there's a remainder of 2, then just 1 space is left empty. So this for loop will basically calculate how many spaces are needed, and it will put them in place based off the remainder. And we have our getter and we have our setter. The setter is basically the same, except we had to add a for loop, or not a for loop. We had to add some the variables down here in the else statement, in a for loop. Make sure we have getters and setters in both classes, because I messed that up earlier today and I couldn't figure out why my code wasn't working, but it was just because I missed a getter in my extended class. But it looks fine. So we have all our getters, our setters, our classes, and the point of this is, like I said, to override. So we have this message to Matt that takes characters. We overrid it, so it's kind of like overloading. We just the method is named the same, but it could perform two different functions now. So this message to Matt doesn't take an input. It'll just take the string and then print it out and then base it off the spaces. So let's see what we have in our main function, or our main class. We have our object1, we have matrix A1, so this is the matrix we're going to use for everyone. And then our message 5, so that would print out nationals in game 5. We have Matt D with our getter, and then we have a for loop. Pretty simple. Then we have our second object with message 4, which prints out hi mom. And then we kind of just repeat ourselves, just making different objects and doing our own thing. So let's see what it prints out. Would you look at that? My code prints out double. I don't really see a problem with that, but because it prints out everything, like I did it correctly, and it's missing message 1 because I don't have an input. I mean, I could put something in there, but I made a string with no input, just to give a variety. Like I have a number, I have two characters. So basically, just a quick explanation once again. The SF is obviously not divisible by 3. Neither is a 7. It gives a remainder of 2. So the reason it doesn't give me an error is because there's a space right here that we just can't see. It's just included, so it'll run smoothly because of that. And that's basically the video. Just taking strings rather than characters in a matrix, and printing them out. Basically, I could change this to whatever. I could print out so many just characters, and I don't have to worry like if it fits the criteria. It'll just print out because like the message to Matt function is coded to do so. So that's the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.